Now, the most unbelievable thing to me so far is that through 2 games, Branch has already stolen 3 touchdowns from offenses. The Detroit Lions defense is really exciting to watch and pretty good. Everybody agrees that there's playmakers on this defensive squad. However, some would argue on how good this defense really is. I'm of the belief that this is the top 10 defense right now in the NFL. I'll rank my top 10 defenses at the end of the video, but of this Lions defense, one of the rising stars in it is number 32, Brian Branch. Looking back at the 2023 draft, this man was a steal for going 45th overall. He was definitely a first-round talent, and the Lions were lucky that he fell to him as they traded up with the Green Bay Packers. His biggest strength coming out of Alabama was that he was such a versatile player, being able to play nickel, corner, or safety, and he has done that in Detroit. Brian Branch had an unforgettable rookie season, playing 77% of the defensive snaps, had a sack, 12 quarterback pressures, 3 interceptions, allowed only a 60% completion rate when the ball was thrown his way, had 3 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for loss, 74 total tackles, 50 were solo, forced a fumble, and scored a touchdown. He was a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and now this season, he is a backbone on this Lions defense, playing every snap so far through 2 games, and he will not be coming off the field. 2023, Branch had 13 pass deflections. So far through 2 games, he already has 5. Now, I will admit, first half of the Rams game, he did struggle a little bit, had a few missed tackles, but first half of the 2024 season, it's all right. A majority of the time, he is lining up as a free safety this season. Now, the most unbelievable thing to me so far is that through 2 games, Branch has already stolen 3 touchdowns from offenses. As a defender, he just takes things away from your offense. This first play here, great effort, almost gets it. It's just Cooper Kupp and a great ball from Stafford. Later in the game, it's the exact same play. Branch reads it and with his speed, gets over there to deflect the pass and take 10 yards away from Kupp. This play's not as crazy. Stafford's pressured, throws a jump ball to Kupp. It's probably not going to be caught. Branch, though, still a great job at tracking down the ball and making sure of it because you never know with Cooper Kupp. This is one of the touchdowns I was talking about. Branch at the bottom of your screen. Mayfield in the shotgun. It's play action. Branch recognizes it and denies K-Dot in the touchdown. It doesn't get better than this, though. Mayfield knows this run defense is really good, and Branch is in on it a lot. He doesn't bite, though. Branch always has his eyes on the ball. It's laser focused for him every game, all game. He goes wherever the ball goes, and he's a playmaker. Another thing about this stud is that he has hands in this man coverage. Branch drops into zone, stares down Mayfield like a hawk, and takes down an interception. Not the best ball from Mayfield, but great pick. And here we go to another prevented touchdown. Handoff to White, and Branch from the edge takes him down. There's nobody else tackling him there. There's a good chance White powers his way into the end zone if Branch doesn't make that tackle there. To the 3rd stolen touchdown. Stafford with Williams in the backfield. Branch comes around and stops him at the goal line with Derek Barnes. Does a great job after following the motion to find the running back. Always has his eye on the ball. He just also has some brute strength to him, stopping a running back like Kyron Williams. Of course, though, he did have help. Branch just can do anything. He's a great tackler in the run game, great open field tackler. He can offer a team great coverage, can deflect balls, pick people off, and he hits really hard. This man hits with no regard for his own life. Look at him stuffing Williams in the backfield there, as he's phenomenal at reading plays. Branch just is a football player with great football instinct, and I'm happy he's on my Detroit Lions. One of my favorite games from Branch was week 3 against the Falcons and rookie Bijan Robinson, and he was held to only 33 rushing yards. Against this Lions defense, we know how good of a rusher Bijan Robinson is, and Branch was all over him. And we know how hard it is to take Bijan Robinson down. He is unbelievable in open space. Late into the game, Branch blew Bijan up, knocking off his helmet, but was flagged. This should just have been a loss of yards. No flag here. Doesn't even lead with his helmet, but y'all get my point. This man's an animal. And then there's the man, the myth, the legend, Aidan Hutchinson, one of the best defensive players right now in football. It's unbelievable what he brings to this Lions defense. He's a game changer, already 5.5 sacks through only 2 games. So far, he ranks 1st in sacks, 1st in sack yards, 1st in QB hits, 9, 1st in tackles for loss, and 3rd in forced fumbles with 1. You can chip block him, double team him. You cannot take Hutchinson out of the game. Here, Kyron Williams gives him a push. Hutch makes it around the edge and catches up to Stafford for the sack. Hutchinson stutter steps, comes around the middle, and just absolutely mauls Baker Mayfield. He did this to him all game. No problem getting around the edge. The strength, the speed. I say it all the time. He's just an explosion off the line of scrimmage. I don't know how he times the snap so well and goes so fast. I think Hutchinson has definitely improved from last season. Just seems way more explosive. It's only his 3rd year in the NFL. Already has half as many sacks as he did last season. Didn't get home as much, but still had so much pressure last year. And to be a Super Bowl contending team, to me, you just need an elite edge rusher, a rusher of sorts, like a Chris Jones, a TJ Watt, a Max Crosby, a Myles Garrett. They're just game changing. And now with the Lions' upgraded defensive line with DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport, Hutch is going to be able to take down the quarterback and get home a lot more, and there's going to be a lot more sacks from this Lions defense all around in general. They're not going to be able to stop Hutch and Davenport every single game, and you can tell Hutch wants it. He's hungry, and he's a competitor, and he wants to solidify himself up there with TJ Watt. You know, TJ Watt last season single-handedly won the Pittsburgh Steelers games by sacking the quarterback, creating pressure, leading to interceptions, forcing fumbles, scoring touchdowns. A good NFL team just needs to be able to create pressure and then get home with the sack. We saw Monday Night Football, Kirk Cousins had all the time in the world. The Eagles D-line looked non-existent. Jalen Carter didn't play. That was a huge part of it. The Eagles couldn't do anything on defense. You know, eventually the wide receivers are going to get open. And the Lions struggled with this a little bit last year. You know, Hutch was creating great pressure, but then there was nobody else on that D-line to get to the quarterback with Hutch. You know, when you have that double threat, Hutch is being double teamed, there's going to be so many more openings for someone to get the quarterback. That's why signing Davenport was so huge for the Lions, and that's why he needs to stay healthy. He looks amazing so far. Dan Campbell said really great things about him as well. Aidan Hutchinson and Brian Branch are just 2 stars of this young defensive roster. Kirby Joseph has been really good. Terrion Arnold coming in there. He's amazing so far. Arnold could cut down, you know, a little bit on those PIs, but other than that, he provides tight coverage. He's a strong football player. And Brian Branch, not yet, but definitely Aidan Hutchinson. Offenses have to totally plan their whole strategy around not letting Aidan Hutchinson get to the quarterback. He makes quarterbacks dump it off. We saw against the Rams, Stafford had to get the ball out so fast every single play, and he's lucky that he has Cooper Kupp to run a quick route and get open very fast, because otherwise there's nobody to throw to in 1.5 seconds. And obviously Aidan Hutchinson is held a ton. Usually I think the defenders get away. They let the defenders get away with a little bit more with Aidan Hutchinson than other rushers, but it's always good when you get that offensive holding call. That's always helpful. Aaron Glenn, though, leads a great Detroit Lions defensive crew. All the players love him. Aaron Glenn has received a lot of hate and backlash, though, over the years, just from crazy fans who get mad about the Lions losing. It wasn't his fault when the Lions defense sucked a few years ago because the roster just wasn't there. Last year, the secondary was weak, but again, Kendall Vildor's out there as DB1. The roster is weak, or I guess Cameron Sutton was cornerback 1, but he was also not very good. But last year, Aaron Glenn was voted favorite defensive coordinator by the NFL players, so that definitely tells you something. And last year, the Detroit Lions were first in rushing yards per game allowed, led the league during the regular season, and now this year, they're starting out at 3rd, only allowing 76 rushing yards per game, and a lot of those are from quarterbacks. And so far this season, for points per game, I know it's a small sample size of only 2, but they rank 13th with averaging 20 points per game given up, 20 in first 2 weeks, so hopefully they can do that again or better against Arizona. If I were to rank the top 10 defenses right now, I know it's only 2 weeks in, but this is how I'd do it. Steelers, obviously number 1. Browns, they played well against Dallas. They held them to a lot of field goals week 1. They won last week. They hit the best defense last year. I think they'll do it again. The Bears, I'm pretty high on the Bears defense. They looked really good against Tennessee, and they looked pretty good against C.J. Stroud. I know Nico Collins had a ton of yards and receptions, but the Houston Texans are really good, and they're at home. It's prime time, early in the year. I'm surprised they didn't lose by a lot more. The Chiefs, even though they have a ton of injuries right now. The 49ers, the Titans, really good defense. I expect them to win week 3 over Green Bay. They should be 1-1 or even 2-0. They've had some really close games. The Jets, I'm not as high on the Jets defense as I was last season, but they're still really good. The Vikings, obviously, Flores with his schemes against the 49ers, unbelievable. I have the Lions at 9, but I expect them, if they play well against Arizona in the next few weeks, I think I could see them moving up into the top 7, probably top 5, and then the Raiders just because Max Crosby there at number 10. If you enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you could like, subscribe. Really helps me out a lot. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about this and the rest of the video, and thanks for watching.